Film critics have been singing the praises of Gladiator II, calling it the best movie of the year and a true epic, particularly highlighting the standout performances by Paul Mescal and Denzel Washington. As the sequel to Ridley Scott's iconic 2000 film, Gladiator II reintroduces audiences to the world of ancient Rome, albeit with a new protagonist. With Russell Crowe's legendary character, Maximus, long since dead and buried, it is now vengeful Lucius, portrayed by Mescal, who finds himself embroiled in a struggle for freedom. The plot centers around Lucius being taken into slavery, ripped away from his beloved wife and daughter, all orchestrated by the ruthless General Marcus, played by Pedro Pascal. In anticipation of its release on November 22nd, the first reviews have begun to surface from critics who attended a preview screening of the film. Many have taken to social media to express their enthusiasm. Entertainment writer Chanel Janai was particularly effusive, stating, "No, like I don't think y'all understand. Gladiator might actually be the best movie of the year to me. I am so sorry, I've watched a lot of movies this year, and I don't mean to be hyperbolic, but I cannot overstate how good this film is." Run, Don T. walked to the theater on November 22nd. Scott Menzel, a film and television journalist, shared his thoughts, declaring that Gladiator II is Ridley Scott's best film since The Martian. He described it as a big, bloody, and badass action spectacle that expands on the legacy of the original film. Menzel praised the film's visual aesthetics, highlighting its beautiful set pieces and epic battles, and commended both Paul Mescal's and Denzel Washington's performances. Menzel noted that Washington chews up the scenery and seems to be enjoying himself thoroughly in his role. He also mentioned Joseph Quinn, who impressively commands the screen, though he wished there was more of him, as well as Pedro Pascal, who has a limited but impactful presence. Simon Thompson, a producer, director, and journalist, offered his own take, asserting that Gladiator II serves up the richest feast in epic action set pieces and deliciously ribald treachery. He complimented Paul Mescal's commanding performance, noting that he leads a stellar cast with great skill. Thompson remarked on the collective power of the supporting cast, including Denzel Washington, Joseph Quinn, and Fred Hetchinger. Awards Watch founder Eric Anderson echoed these sentiments, calling Gladiator II a true epic and praising Ridley Scott for delivering his best work in years. He highlighted Paul Mescal as a compelling action star who retains his indie grit, positioning him as a worthy successor to the late Maximus. Anderson also noted Washington's ability to fully embody his role, stating that he eats every line and costume without ever overplaying. Film Speak host Griffin Schiller expressed his excitement, declaring that he was absolutely buzzing after watching Gladiator II. He described it as an epic Shakespearean tale of hope, futility, and power within a crumbling system, with Denzel Washington delivering a show-stopping, Machiavellian performance. Gizmodo senior reporter Jermaine Lussier provided a more tempered assessment, noting that while Gladiator II doesn't quite match the greatness of the original, it is still a damn fine sequel with significant stakes, a solid narrative, and excellent performances. He mentioned that although he enjoyed it thoroughly, he felt the film was slightly lacking in emotional depth, noting that it sometimes felt easy and superficial. Awards-focused Deputy Awards editor Matthew Koss shared his excitement, stating, "Gladiator is what happens when Ridley Scott lets loose and finds heart in the action. A total spectacle with a pulsating pace. Can't wait to see this one again." In contrast, Next Best Picture critic Will Mavity pointed out that while Gladiator II lacks the focus and emotional resonance of the original, Paul Mescal doesn't quite capture the audience in the same way that Crowe did in the first film. However, Mavity acknowledged that the sequel is overflowing with memorable action sequences and that Denzel Washington steals the show with what is sure to become one of his most iconic performances. Off-screen Central founder Kenzie Vanunu took a more exuberant stance. Proclaiming that epic doesn't begin to describe Gladiator, he referred to it as the grandest of filmmaking. From Ridley Scott praising its theatrics, bloody action, and incredible performances, declaring it so fucking incredible and among the best films of the year. Finally, Drew Taylor, a senior writer for The Wrap, reassured audiences, stating, "Rest easy, Romans. Gladiator II is the kind of large-scale filmmaking excellence only Ridley Scott could corral." He felt that everything about the film just works, and noted its ability to invoke a sense of nostalgia while adding new elements. He likened the film's spirit to that of Top Gun Maverick, emphasizing its bold and muscular filmmaking. The most recent trailer for Gladiator II showcases Lucius Verus, played by Mescal, seeking vengeance against Rome in a dramatic, blood-soaked battle with his captor, General Marcus Acacius. Lucius, now determined to reclaim his life, is mentored by Macrinus, portrayed by Denzel Washington, a former slave who harbors his own ambitions of controlling Rome. The two characters form a complex partnership, each using the other to pursue their respective goals. Macrinus seeks to invade Rome, while Lucius is driven by the desire to slay the general who took everything from him. In a dramatic exchange, Macrinus asks Lucius, "Whose head can I give you to satisfy your fury?" To which Lucius resolutely responds, "The general will do. Rome has taken everything from me, but I will have my vengeance." Once the heir to the Roman Empire, Lucius now lives in a coastal town in Numidia with his wife and child, having been out of contact with his mother, Lucilla, for 15 years. However, his life takes a dark turn when he is imprisoned by Marcus, a feared general known for his formidable fighting skills, honed under the tutelage of Maximus. Lucius, played by Spencer Treat Clark in the original film when he was just 12, has now grown into a man determined to escape the notorious fighting pits at any cost. As Lucius embarks on his journey, he encounters Denzel Washington's Macrinus, a cunning power broker who runs a stable of gladiators. He sees in Lucius a promising investment, recognizing the young man's fierce ambition and battle-hungry spirit. This partnership becomes a pivotal element of the film, setting the stage for intense conflict and dramatic confrontations as they both seek to reshape their destinies in a world dominated by power and violence.